Yo, 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 yo. You already know. Yo, yo. You already know. So, I don't know. I'm kind of shooting from the hip again today. I don't know what news I want to check out. Um, let's see. Let us see. Um, hmm. I'm just gonna pull up. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna pull up. Oh, that looks interesting. Let's just look at some news here. All right, just so you know what I'm looking at here. We got Donald Trump with his little goofball uh social media platform that he created that no one is going to fuck with. We got Derek Chauvin news. Some news in the Derek Chauvin saga. Um Biden's got a plan to fight domestic terror, apparently. Uh, Tucker Carlson saying some dumb shit. Um, that's old Matt Gaetz news. I don't care about Matt Gaetz unless there's something new. Okay, let's do the Derek Chauvin news first. Let's check it out. But first, hold on, I gotta. Yo, what's up, McCown the Third? Yo, what's up? The psychos who murder their way to power are still crazy. Oh yeah, that's the United States government, though. Is that literally not the history of the United States government? You just kind of murder your way to power. You just genocide the indigenous population. You force African and Latino people to fucking, well, indigenous people, force them to work for you, do all your work for you and shit, and then treat them like second class citizens when you're finally forced to treat them as citizens in the first place. You know what I mean? Murdering your way to power is hella American. So let's check out this. I'm gonna F11 now. Let's check out this story here. Let's check it out. Did I mute the tab? What's that? Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, here we go.
I knew it was a historic moment.
Brandon Mitchell was one of the 12 jurors who convicted Derek Chauvin of George Floyd's murder.
It was tough. There was days where I just didn't want to go. So watch somebody in agony and watch somebody die over and over again.
Yo, what's up, Cam? I appreciate you.
Basically,
he sends the initial ballot for second-degree manslaughter.
Hold on, I'm gonna start this over. But yo, it's good to see you, Cam. I know you got homework and all that stuff, but it's good to see you. I hope you make it through that, and I hope you're doing well. And yeah, I hope the best for you, my dude. It's always a pleasure having you in here. You will never catch me like, where the fuck you been? How come you haven't been looking at my streams? Like, I know everybody's got their own shit to do, especially if you're younger. You probably got classwork and schoolwork and after school programs and all that good stuff that you got to do. All your obligations you need to fulfill that your parents will, not well. So you keep your parents happy and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, Cam. Good to see you. and then turn the Irish and Asians against the same black folks who suffered with them. Yeah, McCown III, you seem like a very smart gentleman. And hello, Susan. How you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're in here, Susan. So let's watch this, John. I don't know if I'm gonna read. Let me see how long this shit is. It's not that long. I'll read it after we watch this. What up, Big Richard?
Convicted Derek Chauvin of George Floyd's murder.
It was tough. There was days where I just didn't want to go. So watch somebody in agony and watch somebody die over and over again on instant replay basis.
I'm sure that the jurors were traumatized.
Second-degree manslaughter was 11-1, but that lone juror came around within an hour.
Of course.
Extra careful and extra delicate.
The longest discussion was about third-degree murder, he says, because of confusing jury instructions. Second-degree murder was unanimous on the first ballot.
Damn.
The key testimony for him, Dr. Martin Tobin, the world-renowned pulmonologist, and eyewitness Donald Williams, the MMA fighter.
I thought the prosecution was almost doing too much. I felt like it was a for sure no-brainer.
As for the defense's argument that an angry crowd of bystanders distracted officers,
I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. I thought that was crazy. I was like, if that's the route you're going to go, that doesn't even make any sense.
Mitchell would not say what he thought an appropriate punishment for Chauvin would be. His sentencing is now scheduled for late June.
My man's not going to get sentenced till late June. Such a lack of empathy from racist and domestic terrorists who are upset. I know that feel. And Susan, I feel like a jury of your peers is critical, but I always wonder how many jurors in these cases thrive off the trauma porn and how many can't sleep. Yeah, so when he said that he felt like the prosecution was doing too much, I almost feel like the prosecution kind of had to, I'm going to read about this too. I kind of feel like the prosecution had to do that because of the precedent that's set for when police kill people, right? I feel like the prosecution made sure that their shit was air fucking tight. They had something like, what was it, like 45 witnesses, something crazy like that. Like they wanted to make sure their shit was a slam dunk. You know what I mean? Because they had to. They had to. They didn't even arrest Derek Chauvin at first. He was walking around free for a minute until they finally went ahead and arrested him. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. Yeah, do whatever you gotta do, Cam. I appreciate you. All right, so let me read this this little piece right here. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin filed a motion for a new trial Tuesday after he was convicted last month of murdering George Floyd. Chauvin's attorney, Eric Nelson, is alleging pretrial publicity affected Chauvin's right to a fair trial. And I mean, I won't say that's not a fair route to go down, considering they didn't even arrest Derek Chauvin at first. But like to say that the mainstream media colored the jury in this case is kind of ridiculous, because the only thing that the mainstream media did was show the general public the evidence that the prosecution was presented, which in and of itself was something that we had already seen because his execution was filmed from start to finish. You know what I mean? The riots would have been legendary. The violence was going to be off the charts. People came from all over the world to witness the verdict. Oh, I'm sure. And, you know, I can't advocate for violence on this platform, but I will say that had anything serious happened in the event that Derek Chauvin was found not guilty or there was some kind of mistrial or something like that, I feel like that would be justified. Totally 100% justified. Just because of the anger, you know what I mean? Like that we feel as black people in America with witnessing this type of shit happen over and over and over again. So the idea of finding someone with no idea of the case who isn't either a tinfoil or a bigot is just almost unreasonable. Oh yeah. There was like, even during the trial, it was very easy to tell the people who weren't watching the trial and the people who actually were, because they were repeating the same talking points that people like Tucker Carlson and like Sean Hannity and such were repeating leading up to the trial. But those exact points were being teabagged, and I mean absolutely fucking cumstered by the prosecution. You know what I mean? Where they were talking about how George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, or I even saw some fucking dumbass try to say that he died of carbon monoxide poisoning because of how close his face was to the exhaust of the vehicle. It was just, yeah, people are fucking stupid. We already saw the bias of June 6th. Are you talking about January 6th? Because I agree with you 100%. And it's all good, Cam. I'll see you whenever you're feeling better and whenever you get the time to check me out. It's all good. I appreciate you stopping by for a minute, Cam. So, the motion alleges the court abused its discretion by denying the requests for a change in venue and a new trial. Because the court failed to sequester the jurors or admonish them to avoid all media, Nelson's filing said, they were subjected not only to prejudicial publicity, but also to jury intimidation or potential fear of retribution. And like I said, that's just a silly take. Like, that's a silly motion, because the only thing that the mainstream media were purporting, because obviously if I, Endless Cemetery, Kevin Rucker, cannot advocate for violence on my goofy ass little platform of a dozen viewers on, Facebook or YouTube or whatever, I'm pretty sure that you will not catch, despite what the Republicans will say, you will not catch anyone on any mainstream media platforms advocating directly for rioting, looting, any of that sort of stuff. So to say, I feel like they would have to go to extreme lengths to demonstrate that the mainstream media were doing things like either encouraging rioting and stuff like that after the trial, or they were reporting on reports of people stating that they were going to do that. And to my knowledge, I have not seen any of that. And aside from that, the only thing that the mainstream media would have been reporting on is stuff that was already in the prosecution's evidence. So it is what it is. Yeah. Exactly, Susan Lund. Yeah, the whole thing was documented. The whole thing was fucking documented. So, like, everything else after that is just pure, just exactly what you're saying, just pure commentary. And yeah, McCowan, I feel like the city would have burned. I can't advocate for that, but I will say that I feel like that would have been justified. We can't advocate for violence, but we shouldn't ignore everyone's pain and anger. And if we know the culture, we know how painful that loss would have been. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I'll tell you what, I was prepared for them to like declare a mistrial. You know what I mean? Just because that's pretty much, that's what happened with Freddie Gray here in Baltimore. It was like 6 years ago now. That's what happened with Freddie Gray. They just declared a mistrial, and those people got to walk around free until they weren't anymore. But yeah, let me go ahead and finish this up. The court has already rejected many of these arguments, and the state will vigorously oppose them, John Stiles, Deputy Chief of Staff for Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, said in a statement Tuesday evening. Okay, so good. So they're just teabagging that shit out of there. In total, the motion alleges 8 abuses of discretion by the court. Nelson's filing also accuses Minnesota state prosecutors of committing pervasive, prejudicial prosecutorial misconduct that also affected Chauvin's right to receive a fair trial. The filing also requests an order to impeach the verdict on the grounds that the jury committed misconduct, felt threatened or intimidated, felt race-based pressure during the proceedings, and or failed to adhere to instructions during deliberations. Nelson said he had no comment on the motion. It's just incredibly goofy, incredibly silly. A jury found Chauvin guilty of second and third degree murder as well as second degree manslaughter in Floyd's death in May 2020. Last week, the first juror in Chauvin's trial spoke out and described the evidence upon which the 7 women and 5 men convicted the former officer as overwhelming. So you have one of the jurors themselves saying that their verdict was based solely on the evidence that was presented to them that was, in his words, overwhelming, because it is. You had the entire situation filmed from start to finish by multiple people, you know what I'm saying, and multiple bystanders, multiple eyewitnesses. They're going to try and they're going to fail because the system of power knows that they have to capitulate in this instance or else risk the wrath of the people. So if they appease us in this one instance, then that will sate the hunger of the angry masses for however long until the next person gets killed by police. So many people from all walks of life that came out to support the peaceful protests against police brutality, and the media tried to spin that. Oh yeah, I was out there in the protests. I actually literally filmed the police bashing people, like shield bashing people that were on their knees with their hands up and stuff, like just absolutely destroying peaceful protesters, and people were still like, why are all these people rioting and looting? Like, I was out there and like showing the area where we were, like just driving through, like, yo, this is all abandoned, all this shit is boarded up. How are we looting when there ain't shit out here? You know what I mean? And people were still just like, nope, it's angry rioters, looters. But that's just how conservatives work. Like, they have to believe that any social progress whatsoever is a destruction of their individual being, honestly, because it's a destruction of their way of life. So, which is to shit on black and brown people and women and queer people and trans people. A cop trial arguing about pervasive issues? Yeah, no kidding. I'm thinking that there might be a little bit of race bias involved in a white supremacist police state murdering an unarmed black man in cold blood in broad daylight in front of multiple eyewitnesses. Yeah, you're exactly right, McCown the third. Same in Houston. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta. It's see the thing is, and I said this before, and I don't know how much trouble I'm gonna get into for it, but like we are keeping that energy. Obviously, I'm keeping the energy. If you go to your cities, wherever you are, I'm sure you will find some variation of maybe not necessarily Black Lives Matter, but there will be some type of black organization that's organizing marches, demonstrations, meetings. All of this shit exists in every city and has existed for the longest. I'm talking since they assassinated all the Black Panther Party leaders and so on and so forth. Like, that is the one fucking common theme throughout black life, is that we always find a way to recover our strength and survive and persevere and do our shit, right? So what I have been saying is that there needs to be a change in strategy. There's got to be, and you know, I've been seeing that there's been an increase, there's been a rise in black gun ownership. That's cool, but I'm just saying there needs to be some type of different approach when it comes to how we protect and defend ourselves, honestly, because the marching and shit is all well and good. I support that. I salute that, especially if you're the type of person that's out there in the streets, like in the trenches daily. I salute you 1000%. But I'm saying that's all stuff that is a reaction to this system that is a fucking meat grinder that chews us up and murders us every fucking day. And it doesn't really prevent that shit from happening. And it doesn't really, except in this one particular instance with Derek Chauvin, it does not produce any consequences for any of the police officers or people that would do these types of things to us, you know? Yeah, Susan, I lived in fucking Waverly and people were trying to tell me the city was burning down, who lived out in fucking like Cecil County. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Take your Metamucil and go the fuck to sleep. You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe small business incubators for minority entrepreneurs. So here's the thing, and Fred Hampton has said this. I've been saying this. We can't defeat capitalism with black capitalism. We got to defeat capitalism with socialism, right? We can't have black entrepreneurs. If black millionaires and black billionaires were what we needed, the problem would have been solved ages ago, right? When we did have that, when we had our own thing, Black Wall Street, right? Tulsa, they came and they fucked it up, right? They fucking wrecked us, just teabagged our shit, right? And we were forced to start from scratch. So the issue is, how do we form a system outside the system like we did before, but how do we make it impervious to imperial power? You get what I'm saying? I am in the like Richard Wolff and those types of like thinkers camp in terms of workers' co-ops. I think that if we're going to have businesses and such within the system of capitalism as we know it right now, we should definitely be more into the workers' co-op thing. To Harker Brothers Ice Cream, shout out to Harker Brothers Ice Cream. They're a workers' co-op from here in Baltimore. They make amazing fucking ice cream, delicious ice cream. I worked in an ice cream shop / coffee shop that served their ice cream for about 2 years. That place fucking sucks. I'm not even going to name their name because I don't want you guys to even go there by accident. But to Harker Brothers Ice Cream is fucking amazing. Feminism isn't being a girl boss CEO. It's making sure your nail tech is as safe as you are. You don't win playing the game. You win by changing the game. Yeah, exactly, Susan. Exactly. Because once you make a profound impact in our city's socioeconomic mobility to lobby for change in Rosewood. Yeah, of course. Yeah, McCown III. You already know the shit that I'm on then. You already know what I'm talking about. So on that note, let's talk about this fucking hilarious shit that Trump's got going on now, since he's been fucking banned on every single imaginable social media platform. He's got himself a new social media joint, apparently. They are reviewing his ban on Facebook right now, I guess. And I don't know if he's still banned indefinitely on Twitter, but he is not posting to any major social media sites at the moment. Former President Donald Trump launched a new blog Tuesday to get his message out to users, a task that's been complicated by his bans from Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms. But the move could actually also lead to more takedowns of his remarks online. Yikes. He's just getting fucking absolutely teabagged, dude. You're mad because you're banned, so you try to start a whole new platform, and it just gets whatever's left of you on the other platforms banned. Get wrecked. Most major platforms prohibit users from circumventing their suspensions by turning to alternative accounts to put up posts. Those rules prompted Twitter and Facebook to take action earlier this year against posts they said sought to skirt around Trump's January suspensions, including ones by his campaign account and his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump. Now, Trump has launched a web page making it easier for users to post his remarks verbatim to both Facebook and Twitter, and it could lead to more run-ins with social media companies' policies. That's fucking amazing. So basically what they're saying is, this is another, it's not really another Parler, because Parler was different in that you could actually post on Parler. This is literally just like a blog for Donald Trump to spew his nonsense without any challenge. And the funniest part is if anyone, because of the rules on circumventing bans, so like you can't have a sock account that posts things on a banned person's behalf. You can't have other people post things on your behalf if you've been banned. So like anyone that copies and pastes anything from Donald Trump's blog is getting banned. And that's fucking hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. A Twitter spokesperson told Politico in a statement Tuesday that sharing content from Trump's new site from the desk of Donald J. Trump generally is permitted as long as the material does not otherwise violate the Twitter rules. Okay, so basically, if they don't post anything super fucking controversial like misinformation or anything like that, they won't get banned. But Trump is literally incapable of saying fucking, like, not saying stupid shit. So I'm sure it's going to result in a hefty amount of bans. But the spokesperson said sharing posts from the site will break Twitter's rules against ban evasions if users try to imitate Trump's account and their sole intent is to replace a suspended account. A Facebook spokesperson did not return a request for comment on how the platform will handle users sharing Trump's blog messages on its site, but both sides could soon have to make calls on posts originating from the blog to test its policies against circumventing suspensions. That's pretty fucking funny. I'm not reading all this because I don't really care that much, but that's funny to me. It's funny to me. So there's that. That's all well and good. We got some funny stuff from our boy Tucker Carlson. That's 15 minutes. I'm not watching all of that. Let's just read this shit. Or some of it anyway, because I'm not reading all this either. Jesus Christ. Okay. Back in March, Joe Biden gave his first prime address as president. Almost all 24 minutes of the speech were devoted to promoting the new coronavirus vaccines, the miracle of medicine. It's like being the best hucksters, liar to racist people is his whole platform. That's the entire conservative media sphere. Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder, Boo Boo Bennett, the doo-doo fucking Dookie Cheeks gun girl, Jesse Lee Peterson, like all these fucking like Ben Shapiro, all these people literally they just make money. Their sole intent is to make money, and they realize that they exist in a position where they can make money by just spreading lies that the most foaming, disgusting, and virulently racist, transphobic, etc. people, part of our population, want to hear, because those are the people with the shitload of money. So it's disgusting, but if all you give a fuck about is money, it makes perfect sense, honestly. One of the administration's main priorities, Joe Biden told the country, was making sure every American got a COVID shot, and yet the administration later took pains to explain universal vaccination was not the same as a federal mandate. They're very different. The government is not now, nor will we be, requiring vaccine passports. That's what Joe Biden's flack assured reporters. As important as vaccines may be, the question of whether to take them, whether to have powerful drugs injected into your body, is the most intimate kind of personal health decision. Okay, so this is just more fucking COVID vaccine skepticism, which is like diet COVID denial at this point. If Tucker Carlson, if you let Democrats force you to get the vaccine, they'll have complete control forever. Joe Biden is not pro-choice. He is pro-mandate. It's interesting how they're pro-choice when they're talking about being anti-vaccine. Well, look, after Tucker mentioned Biden's son's butthole, I wish everyone would have checked Why Do They Care, but I'm going to head off to bed. You have a good night, McCowan. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. But yeah, so you should probably get a COVID vaccine. If there's like barring any like extraneating fucking circumstances that like will prevent you from getting a vaccine, like if you have allergies or a compromised immune system, anything like that, don't get the vaccine. But if you can like reasonably safely get the vaccine, you probably should. As in like I actually think that you're a bad person. I think that you're a terrible person if you can get the vaccine and you don't. Yeah, McCown. That's where Fox News is at though, because they can't talk about anything substantive. They have to talk about culture wars and like pop culture bullshit, because that's all the Republicans and conservatives have the attention span for. But yeah, thank you, Numbers. I hope you're having a good one as well. I'm just going to fucking I'm off of that because it's stupid. Tucker Carlson is fucking stupid. You should get the vaccine. The vaccine, if not for your sake, then for the sake of others, you should get the vaccine for the people who can't get the vaccine, so you don't give them the disease, because they're already immunocompromised. That's why they can't get the vaccine, right? And you will put their dick in the fucking dirt if you give them COVID when their immune system's already fucked up. Don't be selfish. Don't be a fucking dumbass. Get the vaccine. You probably fucking, if you're some type of health nut and you take pre-workout, if you've ever taken pre-workout, if you've ever fucking tried to dry load pre-workout, you probably shouldn't be too worried about what's in the fucking vaccine, because you don't even know what you've fucking been taking daily before your workouts, right? I just don't know. You are a shitty, horrible person if you don't get the vaccine. That's basically my take on that. So, we got some other news in Mexico. There was a metro overpass collapse that killed 24 people, I guess. It's very unfortunate. Get ready for this to happen in our country because our infrastructure is so fucking poor. There will be bridge collapses, overpass collapses. Our infrastructure is very shitty, incredibly shitty. And I hope that this all works out for everyone. And yeah, anyway, I guess that's all I got for the news for today. So now it's time for Le Hunt Showdown. Thanks everyone for hanging out and supporting the stream. I'm wearing my X-Men shirt, and it's, you know what I mean. It's ooh, I would have thought Beast would be invisible, but ah man. Yeah, the X-Men series is, yeah. So the X-Men are my favorite like comic book characters. They got me into comics. As a kid, I stayed up Saturday morning so I could watch the cartoon. But like the movies were pretty fucking bad. The first movie was good because there was so much hype surrounding it. There was nothing that had come out like it. It was basically the way that the kiddies that we described it before it came out was a cross between Blade and The Matrix, because Blade and The Matrix had both been out before that, and they were both bomb-ass movies. So we called it the Blade Matrix, and it was fucking awesome. Yo, numbers. You're speaking my language. You're speaking my language right now. Days of Future Past was the only good one other than the first one. The first one was good. The second one was pretty good. It didn't have the same hype as the first one. The third one was fucking trash. Then First Class was fucking garbo. And then Days of Future Past was actually really good. I liked Days of Future. Well, I won't say it was really good. It was good by comparison, and it was a pretty effective X-Men story, I thought, for that medium. And then Apocalypse was hot fucking garbage. Also, it's problematic because Bryan Singer was the executive producer on those movies. And as we found out, Bryan Singer likes to fuck little boys, allegedly. Gotta say allegedly. But yeah, Bryan Singer is out here sus in the streets. Didn't watch Dark Phoenix? Yeah, I didn't watch that either. I completely forgot that shit even existed. I heard it was trash. I heard Dark Phoenix was goofy. Oh, I guess that was from whenever I did quick play, and the shit lags me out. Hopefully my connection's a little bit better today. Play as this guy. Hey, Ali Galloway, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Sorry, I was looking down at my phone being a bad streamer. I had ignored a text. I didn't even realize. Little series called Youngblood. Youngblood's tough. I am not too knowledgeable on Youngblood, but Youngblood did appear to be tough from what I witnessed of it. I was really into, I don't know if you guys fucked with Haunt. Haunt was Image Colleagues' some Image colleague. Can't English. Image Comics. You didn't fuck with Haunt? Why didn't you fuck with Haunt, Big Richard Lizard Man? Trash as fuck. Damn. Why is it trash as fuck though? It has to be all that. Oh, Youngblood is trash. Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, you generally know what you're getting with Rob Liefeld. You're just getting muscles, patches, and Rob Liefeld projecting himself onto every good character and like smashing all the women, fucking beating up the bad guy, getting paid millions of dollars. Just have that voice. I appreciate you, NGD Yamu. People that keep telling me about my voice, and like, I don't know. You know what I'd like to do? Like, no cap, like real shit. I want to do voice acting, like some kind of cartoon character, or maybe video games. That'd be cool too. But I feel like I'll be a dope voice actor. I feel like I'd be a pretty lit voice actor. Like my accent is just subtle enough, you know what I mean? Where if I was consciously trying, I could probably lessen to make my accent less like Baltimore. So, when am I hopping back on Dead by Daylight for the bags? ASAP. ASAP. I'll be on there. You know what? Tomorrow. I'm gonna play some Dead by Daylight tomorrow. We'll get the boys together for some deadies. But tonight, I'm trying to fucking pop some skulls. You feel me? Soothing? My voice is soothing? Thank you. My voice is nowhere soothing as ASMR Slayer's voice, though. That man has the real soothing voice. The real soother. Alright, let's do this. Let's see if we can at least become the Dayspring on this first run. Or Wellspring, not Dayspring. Speaking of X-Men. Fuck, I missed. It's all good though. Warm up. It's just a warm up. Just a warm up. Yeah, it's running the gauntlet, even with both bounties. I haven't done it in a while. honestly. It's been a while since I've done it. I wish it didn't take so long to get into games on this. Oh man. Sheesh. How's everybody's night going so far? Everybody doing alright? This might be another early night for me. Because I am tired and my wrist hurts from playing this damn game all the time. I don't know why my streams continue to lag out like this. Puppies. Not the puppies. I don't even care. I want the smoke. Stoddard. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that instead. Appreciate it. Wrecked. Naturally.